Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Promptings webinar. It is September 20th. I'm really excited for you to be here and to learn more about promptings. Let's get started, everyone. Hello. So excited. There's my camera to be on here tonight and have you learn about promptings. My name is Callie Teagarden. I am the Senior Field Advisor here at Promptings. I'm really excited for you to learn more about our company. Real quick about me, I got started on this journey with Promptings back in 2009. I was looking for a simple way to stay in touch with my clients, to be able to send birthday, thank you, and holiday cards. I knew the power of sending a card in the mail. I was looking for an easy system. And when I found Promptings, I realized this was the answer to my prayers. This was going to help me better connect with my network and the people in my life. What I didn't realize at the time, that Promptings was also going to help me connect with my purpose and put me on a pathway to prosperity. But before I get ahead of myself, I want to bring on our founder and Chief Visionary Officer, Mr. Cody Bateman, to tell you why he started Promptings and the best way to act on your promptings. So Cody, take it away.
Hi, everybody. My name is Cody Bateman. I'm the founder of the Promptings movement. Appreciate you being with us tonight. I want to share with you a couple of stories. One is how this whole thing started in the first place and what our mission is and what we plan to do to change this world of ours by helping millions of people act on their promptings. We hope that you're one of them. So it all started back in 1989. I accepted a job offer. I just graduated from college and accepted a job offer to work for an ad agency in New York City. So when we accepted that job, we packed up all of our belongings. I was newly married at the time, had a little baby girl. We packed up all of our belongings, put it in a U-Haul truck. We were driving this little car of ours in front of the U-Haul truck. And we went over to my mom and dad's house to say bye to the family. So we said our goodbyes. And I remember coming out in the front of my parents' home, and we got into the car and we put little baby Whitney in her car seat, and Jody got into the passenger side, and I went to get into the car. And as I went to get in, I looked over in a lot adjacent to my parents' home. My older brother, Chris, was moving some vehicles around in this lot. And at that moment, I had what I call a prompting, an intuitive thought that I needed to stop what I was doing, go over to my brother, give him a hug, tell him I love him, and say goodbye. That was the prompting. And we were in a hurry. There were people waiting for us. There was another couple that was moving with us that was driving the U-Haul truck. And we all needed to leave. And so what do you think happened? I ignored the prompting. I remember getting in the car and driving away, and I honked and waved at my brother as we drove off, and he waved back at me. I'll never forget the look on his face. And we drove away, and we drove all the way across the country, moved into our new home in New York City area. And a couple of months went by and everything was going well until one night I got a phone call about 2 o'clock in the morning. And my mother was on the other end of that line, and she tearfully let me know that my brother Chris had just been killed in an accident. Now, that was devastating news. In fact, I remember when I got that news, the first thing I thought of is that I had this prompting that I needed to say bye to him, and I ignored it. So at that very moment, I made a promise to my brother Chris, to myself and to my brother Chris. I said to him, I said, I'm sorry, brother, that I ignored that prompting. And I promise you that when I have promptings to reach out in kindness to others, I will act. And I'll do all I can to help as many people as I can do the same thing. That was in 1989. Excuse me. That's when this whole thing started. That was the dream that was put into my mind at that moment. And everything I did from that day forward was to figure out how to deliver the promise. I needed to act on my promptings. I needed to help other people act on their promptings. Now, keep in mind, this is a long time ago. This is in 1989. It was even pre-internet days. We didn't even have the internet back then. So the concept and idea that I had was I had to find a way to help people act on their promptings. And I knew that for myself, the way for me to express myself, my appreciation, my kindness to others, it was a lot easier for me to write those things. Like if I wrote somebody a message in a card, it was a lot easier for me to express myself in a card than it was verbally. So I figured early on that whatever I did, it was going to have something to do with greeting cards, because a greeting card was a simple way for me to act on a prompting. If I had a prompting to say thank you to somebody, I could quickly send them a card with the words of kindness in them. So I started doing all kinds of things pre-internet days to try to figure out how to do that. You can't even imagine the things that we tried to do, but this thing called the internet came along. And when the internet came along and I saw the possibilities of the internet, the light bulb went on that, man, if there was a way that you could send a real greeting card over the internet. So if I could call up the internet and pick a card and type in a message and click it, and somehow it went over the internet to a printer and the printer would print it and send it for me, man, that would be cool. So we went on a long journey to try to figure out how to do that. We actually pioneered the technology that calls for through the internet for variable print on demand on printers. Nobody had done that before us. And we did that back in 2001 to 2001 and 2. So we finally had created what I call a mechanism. We created a mechanism to help people act on their promptings. And what it was is the mechanism allowed me as a person to go onto the internet, onto the mechanism, and choose a greeting card and be able to type a message into the greeting card and then put in an address for that person and push the send button. And then over the internet, it would go to our printers. We would stuff it, stamp it, and mail it out for you. And we started doing this way back in 2002 was when we first started doing this over the internet. Nobody had done it before. So it was a powerful mechanism. In fact, once we had the mechanism to do this, I wanted to start changing my habits and other people's habits. The habit I wanted to create was I sent cards to people every single day. So one of the habits that I had was is that the first person I thought of, I would send a card to. And I'm going to share a story about this card right here. So I got up one morning and my habit was first person that comes to mind. Well, the first person that came to mind that day was a lady by the name of Pat Chase. She does the music at the church I went to. So I went to my mechanism that we had created. We had about, I don't know, maybe 100 saved greeting cards in there. And this was one of them. And it says beauty on the front. So I picked this card. It says beauty on the front. And inside it said things are beautiful if you love them. So I want you to watch the words that I wrote in this card to Pat Chase, who does the music at the church. So right from my computer over the internet, I typed these words. I said, Pat, just a quick note to let you know I appreciate what you do for us at the church. You make music beautiful. and I'm a better person for it. Your friend, Cody. That's simple. And I clicked the send button and sent it off to her. Now, I want to explain to you what happened when she received the card. A couple of weeks went by and I show up at church and she comes up to me and says, Cody, first of all, I want to thank you for this card you sent me. And I want to tell you what happened the day I received it. She says, I got up in the morning and I went into the front room of my house. I was going to pick up the receiver of the telephone, my intent was to call the leader of the church to let him know that I was no longer going to do the music of the church. She said, I don't remember a time when somebody thanked me for the service I provided. The only thing I got were complaints as to why I didn't play this music or that music. She says, and I was really frustrated. And so I was about to quit. She said, but something told me to go get the mail first. Now we know that that's called a prompting. She was prompted to go get the mail first. So she did. She hung up the receiver of the phone, did not make the phone call. She went out to her mailbox. The only piece of mail on a Thursday morning was this card. She opened up the envelope from her mailbox, read this card that you're looking at. She says, Cody, I want you to know that I was at my mailbox and I openly wept, she said. And I want you to know that when I went back in the house, I did not place the phone call. And I'm not going to place the phone call. I will keep doing the music of the church, and I will never, ever, ever forget you for how you made me feel with that card. Thank you very much. That's the power of acting on promptings.
I absolutely love that story. Thank you so much for sharing that, Cody. Right here, it's the power of promptings. I love how he talked about he sent a card to the first person he thought of every day. That's what this all is all about. Reaching out in kindness, right? Staying top of mind with people, building connections. Because when you build connections and make people feel important, they remember you. We do business with people that we know, like, and trust. Those type of things build that. And so, as Cody mentioned, you guys, here at Promptings, it is all about acting on your promptings, appreciating others, and attracting prosperity. And as Cody mentioned, promptings are those intuitive thoughts that call you to take positive action. And promptings will create genuine human connection and guide you to your personal genius by acting on them, right? I was able to connect better with people, but it also put me on that pathway to connect with my purpose. That is why. And as Cody mentioned, the best way to act on your promptings are those heartfelt messages that have always been the best way to act. And here at Promptings, we have a promptings mechanism called send out cards. And I have two really wonderful guests on with me tonight to share how they're using the promptings mechanism and send out cards to reach out to others. My first guest is April Brumm. She lives in Georgia. You will tell by her sign behind her says, I'm fixing to. She's got that great Southern accent. April and I met a couple of years ago, became fast friends. And April, I'm so glad for you to be on here tonight and share a couple of your stories with our viewers.
Thank you so much for having me, Callie, and happy birthday one day behind. We love celebrating birthdays around here. So I have been mailing cards most of my life. I'm 54, and I got this habit from my mama, and it was a very, very powerful thing to be able to do this for people. So the first card I want to share with you guys is sympathy cards are something that we can send, but we don't always enjoy having to. My cousin Jen lost her mama quite unexpectedly, and I actually added with this card, we have a little angel in our gift store, and it is just one of those just sweet little faceless, figurine kind of things, and it was perfect for this occasion. I was very quickly and easily able to see the announcement, and she let the family know. that her mama had passed away. Jen, I'm so sorry to hear your mama. I cannot imagine having to say, see you later to my mama. I'm praying that you'll find peace in this season of your life. And a lot of people, I think when they see cards like this, they go, gosh, that says exactly what I meant for it to say. And that's the beauty of our system, is being able to say exactly what we want it to say. So I was able to send this to her the day that I saw that she had lost her mama. And several of my other family members are still, like, gosh, I need to send a card to Jen. I need to send a card to Jen. And they're in the I need to. And send out cards helps us follow through on our intentions quickly and easily to act on those promptings when we just don't have the time to run, go get a card that may or may not say what we really want it to anyway. So the next one is super, super fun. Y'all are going to love this one. I don't know if anybody watching this is a America's Got Talent fan, but this kid lives in my neighborhood, y'all. And obviously you recognize Simon Cowell because he, is very recognizable. But this kid is part of the Atlanta Drum Academy. I believe that's their name. And they are doing pretty well. Now I'm 2 episodes behind, so I don't know if they're still in or not. But his daddy posted this picture on Facebook, and I took it and put it on a card for them and said amazing memories. Because how often do you get your kid in a picture with Simon Cowell, right? So our cards are going to last forever. They are UV coated. This picture will never fade. And so I just thought that was just the coolest thing ever. And his daddy texted me immediately. He was like, oh my gosh, we got the card today. That is just the coolest thing ever. So you always want to be the person on the other end of the coolest thing ever, right? And then last, but certainly not least, this monster wants to wish one smart cookie happy birthday. So this kid, he is one of the children of one of our pastors, and their names are Jaden, Jeremiah, Josiah, and they always expect a card from Miss April. So it is so nice to be able to do this. And I want y'all to notice one really cool thing about this. I did the personal handwriting font option that we have in our system, but it also includes 4 signatures. So the one signature block just has my name, but I used one of the other signature blocks for my whole family. You see, it says Chuck, David, John, and April. So that's just really cool. I thought to be able to do that literally we signed the card. And then, of course, I put cookies with this because, you can't send a kid one smart cookie card without cookies, right? But anyway, thank you so much for having me. I love sharing these with everybody, and it's just so much fun. And I don't think I'll ever not do this. It's my entertainment.
Right. It's so much fun, and it's so easy. And you've said many times, like, I'm not going to the post office. I'm not going to the store. You Instacart everything. I know that about you.
I do.
You have to leave your house, go get a card and have a stamp and go to the post office, where that's why they're still needing to send a card, your family members, for
yes.
death.
I think we should categorize that as mental health. Because let me tell you, by the time I got in the car and fought all the crazies and everything else and went to the grocery store and got all the things, and I'm not going to cook cookies and then wrap them up and mail them.
No,
not going to happen. So anyway, this is so fun, and I'm forever thankful that Cody, not thankful how it started, but thankful that he followed through and listened to the rest of it to make this happen. That's just, I'll forever be so happy about that.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much for being on tonight, April. Our next guest is BettyAnn Golden. I had mentioned I found Promptings back in 2009. I went to my very first event. We have Prompting seminar in 2010. And the very first people I met at that event was in the elevator the night before. And it was BettyAnn and her husband, Bob. And they just, yep, there he is, had an immediate, like, I could just feel their energy and their positivity. And I've met a lot of people, but BettyAnn, you and Bob have always been memorable to me. So I'm so excited to have you on tonight to share your stories.
Well, thank you very much, Callie. I'm excited to be here, and I look forward to sharing my cards with you as soon as they come up. So the first card we have here is my husband, Bob, is in the entertainment industry. And so he is managing some entertainers. And this new group just signed on with Bob. And we sent them a card to say, welcome to the team. And she's an amazing violinist. And it's just one thing that was just incredible. They never really received a card from us before because we lost touch with them for a long time. And once we connected and got into this, I said, well, it's time to send them a card now. And anyways, and then they sent us back this message once they got it. And they said this heartfelt message. And basically, I don't know if I have time to read the whole thing, but it was what I felt when I opened your card we received today was a warm, solid, strong, genuine, passionate, loving feeling, just like the one I felt when I first met you, and now deeper. And the biggest thing is they're emotional about receiving the card, that we even would think of that, and they love the card. They love the way it was. It's a great little promotional card too for them if they wanted to utilize this. But the best thing that we did was heartfelt, strictly for them. And we just love sending cards just for them. We got in this business in 2005, and I'll tell you, I have never looked back. It's just an amazing. But he said the best card ever he received. The next card is, we have a very special single mom in our send out cards and promptings. And she has been working really hard to get through a lot of challenges in her life. And this is her 2 children and her grandma. And I sent her a card because she started doing some coaching, which was very difficult because she didn't believe in herself. And I told her that the card says, I am the architect of my dreams. And that's her in the middle, standing up, speaking. And I design a life of abundance and joy. And I put a picture of her, and I said, you, golden love and cheers to the beautiful woman you are. You deserve the best, Ellen. And she does. She sent me back a card of thanks. And this card said, thank you for believing in me, and with her picture of her and her girls in the back. And then I have one more card. There he goes. This young gentleman, David, he's a local astrologer in California, and we know his family, and we got to know him closer. And his dad was younger than us, and he passed away. And we were just shocked, and he had posted all these pictures. I went through some of those pictures, picked out the great one. This template card is in our catalog, and all I had to do was pop in photos and write a message on the back. And I said, there's much to be remembered through the memories that you and Lyle, which is his brother, shared with your dad. His precious gift he had was himself, which he shared with you and everyone he touched. His gift will always live within you. Golden love and prayers, Bob and BettyAnn. And what he did is he turned around and he posted where he had gotten the card, and he put it on his refrigerator. And he said, I want to thank the Golden family for making this remembrance card for my dad. And then someone posted underneath him, Bob said, golden love and prayers to endless memories of your dad. And I said, much love to you. And then he replied, thank you both so much. And then someone else posted under that and said, Bob Golden, so thoughtful of you both. I lost my brother last year, and I have his pictures on my fridge too. So you never know who you're going to touch, what you're going to do. And we have so much conveniences now with our send out cards mechanism where it's simple, easy, and cost effective, as April has described very well. And we've been doing it, like I said, was it almost going on, it's our 18th year. So we wouldn't have it any other way.
Thank you, BettyAnn, for sharing. I love those stories. And I know when my mom passed away, I received cards of her. And I actually have one of her framed behind me that someone sent, because we don't print our pictures. They're on our phone. We don't keep them. And so when someone sends it to you, like, it means so much for them to remember you. So thank you for being you.
Because the cards are 5x7 and they fit in a great frame.
Right. And we even have cool gifts. I got this one from you. I love it. I love it. So thank you so much for being on tonight. I wanted to share with everyone the ways you can get started with promptings. We have several ways to get started. If you have never sent a card on our system, I want you to get back with the person that invited you, and I want you to have them share their prompting site and their 10 card challenge site. This is 10 cards, you guys, 20 days for $20, right? 10 cards, 20 days, $20. Stamps included anywhere in the world. This is an amazing way to try out our system. And it doesn't just change the lives of the people you send it to. It changes 11, because we know it changes you as well. If you've already been using our system, already tried the 10 card challenge, you may be interested in one of our heartfelt prompting cards. We have a $37 a month. It gives you 20 cards, stamps included, anywhere in the world. We also have our $97 heartfelt, what we call unlimited heartfelt prompting cards. What does that mean? You can go send 1, 3, 5, 7, 10 a day, and appreciate those in your life. We also have our promptings process package. This puts our best things together, including your first month of the 97 unlimited, 100 system cards. The holidays are coming, so this is where you can create one card, send it out to an entire group. It gives you our virtual assistant service to help you get everything set up. It gives you a ticket to our prompting seminar. That's like the event that I had mentioned that I met BettyAnn and Bob at the first time. We do those virtually as well. Our next one is coming up in November. It gives you a coach, and it gives you so much more. We also have other options. So I want you to get back with the person who invited you on here, and they can answer your questions and help determine what's best for you, because I would love, and I know all of us would love your prompt to connect people and connecting with your power. And I would be amiss if I didn't mention the promptings process. You can live, teach it, and share it. We also have an opportunity here. You know other people who would love a system like this. You can get paid to share it. Again, get back onto this webinar and join us here at Prompting. We would love for you to be part of it. We'd love to help you make a difference in your life and the lives of others. So thank you so much for being here. Let's get started, and please let me be the very first person to welcome you to Promptings.